These are new details on that game, COD 2025, so the one coming out in a couple months, from an alleged play tester. The campaign is set in 2035 with 4-player co-op. Dude, if you give me early access, that will go bonkers. If you don't, I won't play it. But if you do, that would be fun as
that would be crazy, yeah.
Yeah. I remember this was what we really wanted for... We are live. B's and G's, welcome to the Dropshot contd podcast, episode number 513. Today I am joined in his new home, and definitely not just a new room in his existing house, Tanner.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. That's what they're saying, man.
So we recorded.
Who gave us $3.61, by the way? What's with that?
That was the CAD that I mentioned.
Oh, that was the fake
mere
currency.
Moments
Got
ago.
it.
Yeah.
Got it.
We recorded a Patreon episode yesterday, and your room looked much more shit than it does right now.
Did it?
What changed? Yeah.
Well, I didn't have
lighting.
my light up yesterday.
Okay.
I put this over here too to add some greenery to the wall. And that's it. It's just that light. I might have had the overhead light, like the fan, dimmed yesterday too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Looking solid. So yeah, Tanner's now in his new house. Still lots of work to be done, but we're back on our regular schedule this week. Hopefully that remains the case for a while. And welcome to the show. So today we do have some stuff to talk about. Not too many actual changes to the game, but a few. One, mainly we have an IGN article to get into that I think is going to be very, very interesting. So we do have some announcements. Stick around for the end of the show. You will want to hear them. Free trials on our Patreon are now live. So if you wanted ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and bonus episodes for free, you could do that for the month of April. Patreon.com/thedropshot. We just put out a COD ep also, and you can listen to it for free if you wanted more content by signing up. Free trials are live. We'll talk more about that at the end, but keep that inside of your little minds. So now, Jakin with the tier 1 sub. Didn't ask, got it. Thank you for the resub on Twitch, JKN. Appreciate it, dude. All right, let's get into it. So as I just said, not many patch notes to go over. We do have a couple. Basically, this was on Friday the 11th, so this has been the case for a while now, but they took out the Dragon's Breath rounds for the MX Guardian shotgun, which I believe was the full auto shotgun that was just dog shit when it came out, which is why I don't even remember this gun. But apparently, I don't know, Dragon's Breath was busted and it's gone now, so who cares? And then also there was one relevant bug fix, I think. Oh, a couple. Fixed an issue that caused players to remain stuck when attempting to loot a loadout crate. That was incredibly annoying. So they say they fixed that, which would be good. Caused custom loadouts to reset after a match. This has been a bug for a very long time. So if true,
since
very
the integration,
good.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. Sure has been. Yep. So, and then that's pretty much it. So, yeah, that's pretty much all, which is fine because as we talked about in our latest bonus episode, which again, you can listen to for free, game's very playable right now. It still feels quite fresh. I can hear and see people, and I'm very pleasantly pleased and surprised to report. Pleasantly pleased is extremely redundant, by the way, that there aren't that many cheaters. I really just don't see that many or notice that many, I should say. Obviously, there are going to still be cheaters in the game, but it seems to me that the number of cheaters I'm encountering is beyond acceptable. It's like good, which is fantastic. So we have the Holy Trinity. We have the trifecta. I was saying this in Discord earlier. This has literally never been true. We've never had the ability to see people, hear people, and not die to cheaters multiple times a day at the same time in Warzone once ever. Literally ever until season 3. So, hey, don't change it. Now, do a couple things still need to be changed? Yeah. Fuck yeah, some would say. Nerf the goddamn HDR, obviously. Nerf the AK, also obviously. Then the game would be pretty... Okay. Then the game would be pretty good for those of us who are playing on controller and listen to my advice in our All About Warzone episode. Yeah.
That's a Warzone.
So anyway, just a little, update. We talked a lot more about this again on the bonus episode, but game's in a very good spot right now. I'm not mad that they didn't, do many patches yet, because there isn't much that needs to be addressed other than weapon balance, in my opinion. Obviously, there are, I'm sure, other little bugs here and there, but they are not just utterly game-breaking like we had Season 1 and 2 of this integration. Just millions of them. Although still, I am demanding I can mantle on top of rather than over thinner high ledges, because that's still every time. And it's more annoying now because I don't have a rappel. So I spend 20 minutes climbing to fucking whatever, the roof of Twins. 20 minutes. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to get on this ledge to peek this guy. Just sail off instantly. Cool.
Yeah.
Wasted all that time and I can't get back up with a rappel. That's incredibly fucking annoying. Please fix that. Please.
Yeah. That happens, man.
That does
that's
happen.
A good one.
But anyway, other than that, game's quite good right now. And again, we talk more about it on Patreon. So we also have an event. It literally went live 34 minutes ago. So is there like a blog post we can look at? Or something?
I don't know. The nail gun's in.
The nail gun is in. John Black Ops, the best operator of all time, is now obtainable, I think, because of this event. But I don't know what else.
John Black Ops has arrived.
Yeah, I don't know what else is going on.
So what else we have? The Death
update.
Machine score streak and multiplayer, the nail gun, the close shave perk, which was you like always have a knife or something, or you always one hit melee kill. What was that?
You melee with a knife. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it was.
And then
which is ass.
And then the thermite.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So that's interesting. For multiplayer, don't use the close shave perk. Nail gun, according to J-God, is competitive, by the way. And that could be nice, especially since it probably doesn't have any attachments, meaning it doesn't require any leveling to be competitive. So it's either good or it isn't. And according to J-God, it's supposedly pretty good right now in Warzone. Does it compete with the AK? No idea. But I would recommend you guys get that gun and give it a try. And we'll have more info on this on Saturday because, the update literally just went live. And
yeah, you put out a chart. Yeah, it is competitive. It's right in there. I don't know what this means exactly, but he says nail gun is a competitive TTK, but aiming feels a little wonky since the aim is lower than you would normally expect. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Like, do the bullets
like below the reticle
I don't.
a lot?
That's what I'm like. Is it not in the center of the screen like other guns? I don't understand what he's saying there. Horribly worded. You know what? He must write for Charlie Intel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
His pen name
Yes, I don't know what that means, but anyways.
Mick Irish fuck. Yeah. Liam, that's his name.
Liam.
Yeah. So,
good old Liam.
Shout out Liam. The Irish can't do anything right. I'm one of them. So anyway, yeah. So, okay, the event's live. We'll talk more about that on Saturday, but I think the relevant things are going to be the nail gun and thermites too, actually. Right now, the Warzone meta seems to be impact grenades. Still what I'm running, but I might switch to thermites. I definitely will to give it a try. I don't know if they'll be better than impacts though. Obviously, they're great for vehicles, but I'm usually in a vehicle myself, honestly. Like, I don't know how often I feel like I really want to kill a vehicle. If you play solos, the first thing you should do is unlock thermites and equip them. Because if you're a smart solos player, if you ever make it to the end game, you'll notice it's a monster truck rally. Just 5 Berthas all driving around in the final zone. So if you have thermites, that'll be very good for that. But for everyone else, I don't know if it's worth it. Because when you stick someone with a thermite now, it doesn't get a down. Unless they're already weak. Which is insane, by the way. Because if you stick a full health Bertha, you either kill it with 1 stick of a thermite, it'll tick enough to kill it itself, or it'll get it 5% HP. It happened to me. I had a full health Bertha, it got stuck. It was on very low HP, so I got out. Like 1 more tick and it would have died. So I don't know if it was 1 thermite you would need, or 2, but it's basically just 1 and then a bullet, if anything, or just 1. So the fact that a thermite can disable a fucking Bertha, but not a human being, is insane. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't make sense. It's not like it's easy to stick people. So anyway, whatever. Yeah. That kind of makes it less attractive, but it's some area denial, something different. I also wonder how fast it comes out of the hand, but I would recommend you guys try that. I'll be trying it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it literally just all depends on how fast it is, like you said. So, and then who knows, their patch notes are probably worded incorrectly. I bet you can stick down people. There's no way. There's no way
it happened.
You can't, so
Cope got stuck. He didn't get downed. Happened to us.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't believe you. I don't believe anything at this point.
Okay.
It's just so dumb. Why would they make it that way?
I agree, but that's how it is. So anyway, let's see. So anyway, yeah, that's it. So the event's live. We'll talk more about it on Saturday, I'm sure. So now into news and upcoming changes. Not too much to get into here, other than this IGN article. And let's get into it. I was considering saving it for last. We do have a couple other little things to go over, which we will do. But for now, we're going to start with this. Verdansk has given Warzone a shot in the arm. Very weird phrase. And its developers say it's not going anywhere. This is the starting point. Okay, so this was posted by IGN on the 14th, so 3 days ago. And it's a lot of words that are big and intimidating. So this is, I think they're probably going to say, so I'm just going to start reading a little bit. It's fair to say Verdansk is breathing new life into Warzone, and it couldn't have come at a better time. The internet had declared Activision's now 5-year-old BR cooked before the nostalgia-fueled Verdansk turned things around, which it was. It was well done. So now the internet has declared Warzone back. Didn't Activision nuke Verdansk? Doesn't seem to matter, as lapsed players who fondly remember Warzone as their lockdown game are returning to the map that started it all. Okay, a lot of words. Here we go. Pete Actipis, change it, game director on Warzone at Raven. And I believe that's the guy who was also on the COD pod that we also covered.
It's the Beenox guy, right? I think.
No, the Raven guy, the older guy, the not French.
Oh, Pete.
Canadian
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. Okay, Pete. Yeah. Okay, they talk about the other guy in this article too.
Okay. Yeah. So Pete Actipis, change it once again, game director on Warzone at Raven, and Etienne Polio, some French Canadian shit, creative director at Beenox, both worked on the multi-studio effort to bring Warzone back. And I think, yeah, those are the 2 guys who were on the COD pod as well that we also covered on Patreon. In this sweeping interview with IGN, the pair discuss how they went about it, the success of Verdansk casual mode, and other words. So those are the two guys who are being interviewed. We may or may not read every question and every answer, but we'll see. Let's look into what is interesting.
Oh
IGN.
yeah, this isn't long. Oh, it's not that long.
I imagine I fit the typical profile, says IGN, which is someone who played a lot of Warzone during lockdown and was enticed back by the return of Verdansk, which makes sense. Was that the point of all this? To get lapsed Warzone fans back in the game? And now it's been out for a while. Is that what you're seeing happening? This is a good question. Pete. So Pete is Raven, and then Etienne is the Beenox Frenchman or whatever. They're Canadian. We hit our 5th year anniversary for Warzone, and we wanted to bring back Verdansk for quite some time now. It felt like the right timing. When we were talking about bringing it back, it wasn't just bringing back the map, it was more than that. Over the last 5 years, we've learned a lot, experimented with a lot. The one thing you can say about Warzone is constantly changing for good or for bad. Based.
True.
Yeah. Based and
Shout
true.
out Pete.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out Pete. We're being honest. We're starting off honest. I like that. It is something that we just try to keep evolving, and we listen to the players. Okay. Well, and we take some shots, and sometimes they land, sometimes they don't. When we talked about bringing Verdansk back, it was important to bring the nostalgic shit back. Okay. A lot more words. At least on the gameplay side, we wanted to make sure that we looked at all the design principles and all the reasons that we added the things that we did back then, and are they still viable? Are those still fun mechanics and loops? So this is a reference, I'm sure, to like balloons and zip lines, for example. And if we were to bring them back, we wanted to make sure we did it with the right intent. And that's why I think it's stuck around so well. Post-launch right now is it's getting great feedback from the community. They seem to really be enjoying it. We're players too, okay? So we wanted to build an experience that we fell in love with back in 2020. So yeah, it's worked out. Okay, so that was Raven Pete's response to this. And now Beenox Etienne. We know that gaming in general goes pretty fast. Sorry. 5 years of Warzone just went by really, really fast, and we tried so many things. A lot more words. But it was not just a matter of, oh, we're going to port that thing toward that new engine or that new COD. It was really more like, let's bring the best version of Verdansk. So to be sure that we just to be sure that we remade everything from the ground, the sky, the player visibility, the audio. There's a lot of stuff that we put a lot of energy in, and we see the result right now. We were playing the game, we were like, yeah, it feels great. So this is what Tanner and I have been saying. And this is what they had said in the COD pod before Verdansk was actually live. They did a great job of that. Remaking everything from the ground, the sky, the player visibility, and the audio. It does feel like Verdansk. It feels how I remember it, but better. That's it. Because I can see people easily, and because the audio is great. So this was like this was what it all came down to for me, as you guys know if you've been listening for a while. If you can't see or hear people, game fucking sucks a lot. But I'm pleased to report, again, you can easily see and hear people, so they did a good job of this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I got a package delivered next door I need to go get because it's huge.
Okay. So we were just eager to give it to the player, and the answer is really successful right now. So we're really, really happy. And they say some more shit, so... The online sentiment does look positive right now, says IGN, and you'll know that the sentiment across places like Reddit and social media has certainly not always been positive about Warzone. Is that something you're seeing in the data? Are you seeing more people returning to play Warzone? This is very interesting because we don't have all the data, obviously, but just looking at Steam charts, we've been giving you guys periodic updates throughout, certainly the integration at least, and even further back, at the just torrential downfall of numbers of players. Just not at all looking good on Steam, at least. And that was probably also, or that was certainly a good representation of, you know, players at writ large. So seeing what the numbers or hearing what they are now is really an interesting question to me, because they did do this update quite well, in my opinion. But again, I don't know fuck all about what the average some guy wants. As we've learned, they wanted no PA indicator. So, okay, they wanted a faster time to kill too. I hate both of those things, but that's what everyone wants. That's what you should do. So if I got things I did want, I wonder if casual didn't. I find it hard to imagine a casual wouldn't want to see or hear people, to be fair, but let's see what the player numbers are. So Pete says, it's been pretty successful, and I think you can tell in the experience. I'll take it when Reddit says positive things about Warzone. That is an anomaly. And I'm excited by it. Why would that be an anomaly, I wonder? Why would that be an anomaly? That's funny. So, like Etienne said, we recreated Verdansk to be the best experience possible, but then we didn't stop there. So, we know there's going to be a lot of new players or lapsed players. Word of mouth, come check out Verdansk. We added this casual mode, which is doing really well for us. We wanted players to come in and re-experience it at their pace or experience it for the first time in a safe way where they don't feel like they're getting sweated out or outplayed. We were very careful with crafting this experience this season, and the data is showing us that it's been really successful, and we just hope to keep that momentum going into the future. So this is cool, actually. I am a fan of the casual mode existing. I don't play it, fucking obviously, but I do like the idea of it. I have played it before, not on Verdansk, but on Urzikstan, because they did some event where you could get shit for doing it. So we all did it like 8 times and just ran through the lobby. It was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
But for like a new player or returning player, like he just said, yeah, that's a great idea. Get used to Omni movement, get used to the map again, get used to just everything, really. How your gun feels, whatever, hitting loadouts, all that dumb shit. It's a cool idea for a mode. There's a lot of talk about it on social media. I think part of it is because of this interview, but that I don't really understand very much. I'm sure we'll find out, but like, yeah, it's a cool mode. Keep it in. I won't queue for it. It's not for me. What the fuck else is there to say? Like, I don't know, but whatever. So yeah. Etienne adds, it's really impressive how much COD touches different players from all different backgrounds. So having that casual mode, having more quality of life, having more ways to have a stable, performant game is really important. Down the rest of that chapter, and so for the rest of Warzone, I read that correctly. I don't know what he's trying to say. How can we be a place to welcome new players and make sure that if you were there back then, you will return to what you love? Okay. Sorry. That guy doesn't speak English very well, so I don't know. Which is fine, but yeah, I don't know. So IGN says, and this should give you a sense for who the average player is. Casual mode is where I'm playing right now as a lapsed player returning to Warzone. However,
that's an IGN employee.
I mean, even if I were returning, I would play it maybe 3 times, maybe.
It's all bots, guys.
Yeah. And
it's like 80% bots.
Yeah. It seems completely insane, but whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, IGN says casual mode's where I'm playing. However, I am starting to see the sweats maybe looking at casual mode and going, we can have some fun here. You can tell when you're playing it when someone shouldn't be there. This is too easy for you. Are you seeing that internally? So not having read the answers yet, what I would say is, it seems insane for any, not even sweat, but decent player to ever play the casual mode. It's boring as fuck. It is so boring. It is so boring.
No sweat wants to do that. No sweat wants to run around killing bots and terrible players like that all day. They'll do it maybe 1 or 2 times and be like, okay, this is boring. I'm not doing this anymore. It's a waste of my time.
Exactly. So I don't think this is an issue. I have seen, friend of the pod, Jake Down, who is a wannabe sweat. I've seen him play this mode exactly once. He said he was doing it as like a warm-up game, and that bothered me. Hey, just play. It's casual Publix. Don't play the fucking casual BR playlist. Play a normal Publix match. God damn it. It bugged me. And it's also just, again, incredibly boring. So I can imagine every once in a great while, you are playing your casual mode and Jay Coochie runs you over. Like, I can see it, but that is not going to happen often. Because, yeah, everyone who's even decent plays it once and they're like, okay, this shit's ass. I'm done.
Yep.
And yeah, there were people playing it to do like challenges and unlock camos, but you can't do that anymore. So there's really no incentive anymore for anyone decent at the game to be playing the casual mode. And also, there's SBMM in this game. So once you've like gotten used to what your buttons do and how your gun feels and how the game functions, you should be gone. You shouldn't be playing the casual mode anyway. It's like running into sweats there shouldn't be a problem for you because you just shouldn't be playing casual mode more than 12 times. Like, ever. Like, okay, I understand it now. I'm gonna go play the real game. Yeah, like, I don't know. So, this is crazy, but whatever. So anyway, Pete says, the spirit of the casual mode was to give people that were scared about getting into a time commitment or a game commitment or a skill commitment with Warzone, but do it on their terms. Whatever. The nice thing about this is the first rev of it. Okay, it just went live and we're going to look at the data. We're going to evolve it over time to make sure it retains the design principles and spirit that we wanted it to have. So if we see sweats coming in there wrecking the whole server, then we will have to come up with plans against that. It's still pretty new right now. I think it's still giving players what they need in it, and we'll just keep monitoring and evolving it. But it's a fun mode. I can't lie, says Pete Actipis, lead game designer at Raven Software, lead developer for Warzone. Quote, I enjoy playing it myself. And I can play with people that never played COD before. Got it. Hey, maybe finally Activision devs do play their own game now because they made the fucking casual mode so they can run bots over. Got it. Got it. Don't enjoy playing BR casual and be a dev, damn it. Don't be the head dev, certainly. That bugs me. So, that's just kind of funny, but of course, right? He's a 50-year-old man. Of course he plays BR casual, if anything. He also says it's a little less intimidating that way, and I think that's what makes it so appealing for myself.
Bro's intimidated by a video
Your
game.
lead game director at the lead dev for Warzone, ladies and gentlemen. And he should be shamed for this. It's not shameful to play BR casual if you're some guy. It is if you're the lead dev of the entire fucking game. Play a regular match, god damn it. This bothers me. But fine, whatever. We all knew that there weren't any sweaty Raven devs, actually. That was a lie on the COD pod, obviously. But also, again, this is just more talk than it's worth. They are not going to see sweats go in there and wreck the whole server ever. So they're not going to need to have to do anything. So it like doesn't matter. And if they did, I don't give a single fuck, obviously. Don't play it. So anyway. Etienne goes on. You get the sense of learning the tension of the game. It's not just you get thrown away. And after that, you go into the gulag and that's it. It's done. Internally, we have a lot of great players, and maybe we call them demon players. Oh no! It's funny just to have those discussions with them about the game and how they see it, how they approach it. Yeah. And on my side, I'm more on the downfall skill player. And again, sorry, not his first language. I was great before, and now I'm just getting worse and worse.
Based.
So I think it's really important to just have those conversations with those great players and see how we can tweak that experience in a way that everyone gets something out of it. But why? Sweats shouldn't be getting anything out of BR casual. Maybe that's not what he means.
Yeah, who knows?
And I'm pretty sure that we have a lot of players who are going to get inside ranked down the road of BR. So I see that as a more broad, different mode to just engaging depending on your skill set.
You're right if it's not full of cheaters, Etienne. We'll see.
True. Yeah. True.
We'll certainly see. It's really all it comes down to.
Yeah.
If ranked isn't filled with cheaters, a lot of sweats will actually stay on that probably. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So IGN says, I guess when ranked starts, the sweats will probably gravitate towards that and they'll have had their fun. Again, all of them, this is why they need consultants. Talk to one so-called sweaty player and they will tell you, I never queue BR casual. Fuck, that shit's boring and ass. You don't have to keep me out, trust me. The mode itself keeps me out. You don't have to do anything, but whatever. I want to talk to you about COD lore, okay? And now I'm done reading that. Okay, IGN then asked, a lot of people are wondering, is Verdansk here to stay? Is it like a celebration one-shot type thing that you're doing, or is it something that players can expect longer term, and you iterate on it on that basis? So this is also germane. Pete says, we brought Verdansk back for a reason. It wasn't just to bring it back for a season and kind of say goodbye to it again. A lot of effort went into it. So for the time being, Verdansk is sticking around, and this is just the beginning of the Verdansk 25 journey. And then we'll see how things go from there. So again, no confirmation or anything on the strategy on the maps moving forward, but we love Verdansk. It was a nostalgic map that we loved and it's fun to play on. And so we want to just keep investing in it, on it, and continue to make it a better experience for our players moving forward for at least the time being. So that gives us new concrete info on the intended timeline here. We're going to have Verdansk for 2025. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I think based on this, the absolute earliest we could expect a new big map would be season 2 of COD 26.
Agreed.
And even then, that's probably a little early.
Yeah, they're thinking like essentially February, March of 26.
Right. Yeah.
So I think we're on Verdansk until then. And I think it was on Patreon that I said it, but you know, they could even do things like the end of this year where we get a big update, and that update is basically making Verdansk into Verdansk 84 like we had. So again, it's kind of like we might get a big map update in, you know, October, November later this year, and we get things like array, salt mines, unfortunately, the top left corner of the map summit, all those changes as well, maybe. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Like I think I'd be okay with this timeline, provided we do get map updates, which we almost certainly will, right? Like the train station's gonna open. That was basically leaked in their own little cinematic trailer. Stadium's gonna open, I'm sure. We're gonna get the train moving. We might get that shipwreck again. And then the bunkers are gonna open. And then probably some new things that were never changed about the original Verdansk that we'll get in this one. If they do all those things, which I have every confidence they will do, I think the map will be fresh enough until, you know, whatever, February or something. Not to mention, like Tanner mentioned, Verdansk 84, which would be a whole fuck ton of other things. So there's a lot of, you know, map changes to happen in that time. So I'd be cool with that. So this is interesting. IGN, I've seen players go back to unlock Price's ghillie suit from MW 2 now that Verdansk is back. Have you seen this? Etienne says, yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
IGN says, people asking each other how to get it again, going back to MW2 or even buying it to unlock the ghillie suit. So don't do that, obviously. Don't infect your PC with the malware program called Modern Warfare 2. There is an operator called Chuy, C-H-U-Y. I believe he's a BO6 operator. He has a ghillie suit. I don't know how you unlock it, but I already had it, and I haven't spent money on this game in a long time. So you probably
the one that you're running is the ghillie suit. Okay. Or that's a BO6 operator. I was looking through while I was waiting for you and Jake yesterday, trying to find a ghillie suit, and I couldn't find any, but I was looking at MW2 and MW3 operators. I didn't even check my BO6.
I'm sure
you honestly probably got that. It's probably like a prestige unlock, I bet. Chuy,
yeah,
you said?
Maybe. C-H-U-Y, yeah. Choi. I don't know how you pronounce that word, but I'm going to say Chuy. But yeah, he has a ghillie suit. I had it. You guys should do that. If you want a ghillie suit, which is actually the best way to be like a sweat. It's not a all black skin anymore. Visibility's too good inside, thank God. So now it's like, if you don't move in a bush and you have a ghillie suit, you actually will be a little hard to see, honestly. If you don't move. Once you move, they'll see you, but I don't think it matters that much. I think the visibility is too good. But anyway, it's just interesting he brought this up at all. Etienne, it's really interesting how the community is engaging with the game. We have the chance of having all the different operators, something that I really love from the game. And sometimes I even use really, really old weapons that maybe are not meta, but I have the feeling that I'm back, I'm there the way I want to play. So yeah, Etienne's trash also. Don't use really old weapons. They're not good. So we know he's ass. So anyway, which is fine. It's not. Don't be a game dev and be ass. Pete says, or hopefully he's lying and he just uses an HDR, an AMAX, an AK, or a Growl. That's it. Hopefully. So anyway. Oh, here's a little picture of Price's ghillie suit you guys can see here. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Chuy is a MW2 and MW3 operator, according to what I'm reading here.
Oh, okay.
So that explains it. So you probably did do some weird thing back then.
Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like you get it from the MW2 Season 4 Battle Pass. So, got it.
Oh.
So if you don't have that one, you're not getting it now, yeah.
Yeah, I guess not. So, but there are other ways you can get the price one still, I guess. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The visibility's too good. I'm seeing this guy easily. Like, if he's not moving, I'm not. But he's also not killing me if he's not moving. Until I run past him, then I'm dead. But anyway, whatever. So they keep saying some dumb shit. Today's episode is brought to you by our Patreon, where you won't hear ads like this. And we give bonus episodes every month, 3 of them. You also get the public feed, ad-free, as I just said, and early access as well. Normally, that starts at just $5 a month at the gold tier, which is the most bang for your buck. You get all that stuff I just mentioned, 3 Call of Duty bonus eps a month, and you could go above and beyond if you wanted a Q&A and behind the scenes ep or a hangout every month with Tanner and I. This month, we're getting Verdansk, obviously, or we already have it when you're hearing this. And so what we've decided to do is starting on the 11th of April through till the end of the month, we're offering free trials for the gold tier. That way you can risk-free get a feel for what the Patreon's like, enjoy the ad-free eps, and I think most importantly for this month, especially with Verdansk and all the other changes we're getting, the bonus episodes. Because there's going to be a ton of strategy and impressions and tips and all that stuff to talk about starting this month. So this would be a great time for you to check out the Patreon, check out the bonus episodes, see if you enjoy that content. And then if you do, you can sign up. It's only $5 for the cheapest tier. And that gives you all the Call of Duty bonus content we offer. Again, you also get ad-free and early access on the public episodes, no ads on the bonus episodes either, obviously. So if you wanted to check that out, go to patreon.com/thedropshot. Probably wait till the 11th unless you really want to support us, because that way you can do the free trial. And the Patreon is the best way you guys can and do support the show. It's where we make the bulk of our income. So it's incredibly important and appreciated. Thanks, W. Verdansk. Hopefully. Let's get back to the show. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of dumb shit in here, actually.
This one's kind of funny. IGN, I've been having old debates again about whether to play aggressive or just camp on a rooftop and snipe, or just hide in the same old places. God damn it, IGN. When you were thinking about bringing back the map, did you consider tweaking it in such a way to encourage certain gameplay types or styles? Or did you want to recreate it as accurately as possible so the same gameplay styles in the same places would happen once again? This is a very good question. Let's see what they say. Etienne. We wanted to recreate those moments, but again, we've learned a lot. So just to give you a quick example, player visibility is really better right now than back then. True. Many people remember rows, but there were a lot of dark corners. True. That was an experience that a lot of people were not attracted by. True. So we made slight adjustments like this to make sure it's fun for everyone. Don't say that's a slight adjustment. I can see people, that's a massive adjustment. A good one, but don't say it's slight. And another thing is audio is really, really important for us. So just making sure that you understand from each corner where you're in this, where will be the enemy, blah, blah, blah. So again, just making sure it's the best Verdansk we will deliver. That was the goal. Pete, we also didn't want to change too much because then it wouldn't be what you remembered in Verdansk. The map itself had a lot of that sandboxy, kind of like, do I want to play long range and go camp at the top of ATC or the top of stadium roof with a helicopter? There's a lot of play potential, a lot of opportunities for close range, long range, you name it. Great fighting in the woods areas north of Quarry or southwest of Hills. To make that a reality, we went back to the core experience and made sure we were able to pay those moments off. So we returned the circle back the way it worked originally. So we allowed these wild swings for these first and last circles so you can get more of these dynamic and crazy experiences where you're, the first part of the match, you're playing in a dense area, maybe like downtown, and then it ends somewhere where there's an opening. And you're like, oh crap, I gotta go hit my loadout again. Let's get some money so we can acquire a loadout so I can get more of a mid to long range weapon to be able to handle late game. So this is interesting. I think they did well with this update and changing the circle times and...
Yeah, they're perfect.
Yeah, and making, and where the circles are going is good. And, again, audio visibility, like he just said here, is all good. Cool. But again, I just want to point out, this person obviously doesn't play Warzone. Oh crap. Let's go get some money late game so we can acquire a loadout so I can get a more mid to long range weapon. What? How many times ever have any of you been like, oh, I need a different loadout since we're going into end game and I'm going to waste 10K on doing that? How many times ever in 5 years have any of you done that?
That's a BR casual player.
Yeah, no shit. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy talk. This is why we say that Activision devs don't play their own game. Because this is either a lie from someone who's pretending to know how Warzone is played, who doesn't actually play it, or this is a horrendous player. Because either, you're never doing this. Ever. Ever. Very occasionally, if the circle's ending downtown and I can hit free loadout and I'm using whatever, AMAX, AK, I'll be like, okay, this looks like a sniper ending. I'm going to get my sniper out. Notice it's the opposite zone of where they think I would want to snipe, by the way. But even then, I'm not buying a loadout, and if I can't hit the free one, I'm not stressing it. I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. No one ever has done this.
Yeah.
So, just want to point that out. These devs don't play their own game. Or if they do, it is not the same game you and I are playing at all. Because no one has ever done this. I've never watched a stream and they're like, oh guys, let's buy another loadout because it's ending here. And my guns
I need to get my long
enough.
Range set up. Yeah.
It's so insane. It's so insane. Yeah. So. Especially saying, let's go get some money so we can acquire a loadout. You're gonna loot. You're gonna be able to loot 10K late game. And then you're gonna spend it all on a loadout? When you already have one? Stop the cap. Please stop the cap. So that bugs the fuck out of me, but whatever. Anyway, he goes on, fuck, this is funny. We also made vehicles more impactful, so we had to remove things like the redeploy drone beacons and all the other fast travel mechanics to make the rotations a little bit more difficult, which made you think of, how do I want to move with my team, and what kind of weapons do I need to carry, and what sort of equipment do I carry? True. All those things might look like individual things, because they are, but they all compound together to really form the experience, which is also true. And so we were very careful. So they were trying to get the OG feeling, basically, which, yeah, is pretty obvious. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Vehicles feel great, by the way, of course.
They do. Yeah.
That's a barking dog.
That's a huge barking dog, yeah.
Is that new dog still scared of you? The other one? Is that the one? That's not the one barking,
bit.
Right?
No, it's not. No, she's way louder and bassier.
Really?
Yeah. She's a little...
Got some horsepower?
Got a lot of horsepower. She's a little freaked out by me still. I don't know why, but I don't like
give out
hit
that
her.
aura, man.
I don't get it. Anyway, whatever.
It probably hears you scream in your room all day at things.
Yeah, maybe. She is still like 10 months old. She's young, so whatever.
Yeah.
IGN. I wanted to get some insight into time to kill and how you approached what you wanted to achieve there for Verdansk coming back. This you've probably seen on Twitter. It feels shortened to me. Great observation. But exactly what happened there, and why did you make the changes you made? Pete, comparatively to last year, the Urzikstan year, it is a faster time to kill. It's pretty equivalent. I don't know the exact numbers offhand, but the original experience and what we wanted to go back for now was make it more of a casual, friendly kind of, if I'm not good at hitting straight shots, I have an opportunity. I'm not going to get destroyed every gun battle. There's also a lot more of excitement like, oh, I have an opportunity to get a kill. So a couple things. Number one, obviously, and we already said this, because what else does lowering the time to kill accomplish? Well, exactly what he just said. Shitter fucks sitting in a corner, not moving, waiting for you to run past them can get a kill on you if the time to kill's faster, because you don't have time to do anything, re-engage them, and run them over because you're a more skilled player. So of course, obviously, this benefits casual players. Duh. We already said that, and it's obvious. It's very cool, unironically, that the devs are honest about it, and I'm surprised. Surprised he came out and just said it. Again, it's very obvious if you have a brain that's why they did it. But for them to actually say that is cool.
Yeah.
And I respect it. However, is it a good change? Obviously not. I mean, I hate it. It's a terrible design choice, but this is probably what casual players want. They don't want PA indicators. They don't, and they want a faster time to kill, I guess. And other dumb shit that I'm forgetting right now. Oh, they want the HDR to be buffed. The casual players want all kinds of goofy shit, I guess, and this is probably one of those things. So I hate it because, yeah, it's less skill expression, but it's not going anywhere, number one, this year at least, at all. And it's at least in line with probably what a lot of players do want. Because, yeah, unfortunately, can't blame the devs too much for this one. And supposedly, time to kill is still a little longer than it was in OG Verdansk right now. So that's also something. I'll take it. But
yeah,
I'd still prefer
and again,
it not
though,
be changed.
Players are so much better. So
exactly.
Everyone's watched 100 videos now to see all you need to do to get aim assist like Biffle is move one of your analog sticks 1%. So yeah, people have figured it out by now.
And then Pete goes on to say, that being said, it's not like we're trying to remove skill from the game. There's still a lot of skill involved in this game, but it's approachable, which is the key difference there. And part of this was not only how do weapons handle, but then also how does your movement handle in response to that? Do I feel like I can engage in combat and get a bead on somebody and react to how someone's moving or get away from shots? So movement and gunplay are very tied to the hip. And this is, again, the peeling onion approach. We like right now where the TTK sits. We will evaluate as the game progresses and see what our fans think. We're always evolving and we'll always react appropriately based on that cap. But right now, it seems like people are enjoying it. I know TTK is, some people either love it or they hate it. Depends on their player type. Depends on their player skill would be more accurate. It's okay to be opinionated. Thanks. That's cool. Thanks. We're just trying to do what's best for the community at large.
That's cool, man.
Don't tell me it's okay to have an opinion. That bugs me. But, I mean, based on what we already know, I think this is a good answer. Honestly, I don't like it because, yeah, it accomplishes exactly what he said it does. It gives a casual shitter a chance to win a gunfight if the time to kill is fast enough, because then shooting first becomes so important. On the other hand, though, in some ways this can disadvantage casual players because first shot is so important. So if you're just like sitting in a corner and I do know you're there, you probably have even less of a chance than before, because I'm going to slide cancel you, get peeker's advantage. I'm probably younger than you if you're some casual dad, and I'm going to pull my trigger before I'm even on your screen. 10 tick server, by the way. And then you're dead before you can even react. So, like, I think on balance, it does help the less skilled player more than it hurts him. But there are some ways in which it hurts him. And I can't imagine it's not frustrating to just get deleted by someone much better than you who can also shoot you first. Because a big thing about skill gaps is just reaction time. Like, if you have a faster reaction time, you're just going to be better than someone with a slower reaction time, all things being equal. And the faster the time to kill, the more that the reaction time matters. Like, oh, fuck, I didn't start moving into cover 10 milliseconds ago. I'm dead now. I'm dead now. And I hope that helps. Whereas if I were 17, I'd be alive here. Cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. It's not. Compounded by the shit servers, of course, where you will die behind the wall anyway. So, with all that said, the takeaways here, good answer, given what they've already done, and don't expect the time to kill to change anytime soon. It just isn't. It just isn't. Maybe next year is the earliest.
Oh, really? Is that what you think? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I was kind of thinking maybe going into like the next season, they'll make some changes, but nothing substantial. But yikes. Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I'd be surprised, honestly. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I was just kind of thinking if their goal was to make this season feel like the OG season, then they would make some changes to it going into next season. Actually, it was mostly the first half of this season they were trying to make feel OG. That's why we don't have, zips on the side of buildings.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you're right. Obviously, the time to kill is going to change a little bit because they're going to do weapon buffs and nerfs, of course.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, it's just going to naturally change.
Substantive, like across the board ones, I don't really see it this year, honestly. And especially based on this answer. So, but we'll see, whatever. So, and obviously there is still a lot of skill involved in the game. Obviously, like you can adapt to this, you can still do well. People who are better than me are still better than me. People who are worse than me are still worse than me. So like, obviously. So anyway, let's see what this next one is here. I was talking about realistic skins.
Yeah, this bugs me. Read the question at least.
IGN, my first Verdansk match back, I was in the plane and there were 4 of us getting ready to jump out. And one of the players was a giant Teenage Mutant Ninja
I hate
Turtle,
IGN. I hate them.
And the other was this fairy thing. I was like, This is not how Warzone was back in lockdown. Was that on your minds as you were thinking of rekindling the feeling exactly as it was back then, when some of these crazy skins weren't so prevalent in the game? Did you ever think at any point that actually just for the relaunch, at least the start, this is a direct quote, by the way, this guy's bothered, we're going to limit it to milsim stuff or some of the stuff that people remembered? Or was that just never a consideration for you?
I hate the casual player base. This is You have a chance to ask developers of the video game a question, and one of your questions is asking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skins. I hate the casual player base. I hate them, yeah. I can't believe this even comes to mind. It bugs me so much. Fuck, it bugs me. I'll never understand why people care so much about the other skin they see in the game. Yeah. Holy fuck, man.
Yeah, it's insane, obviously. So this is insane to ask because who fucking cares? But it's even more insane to ask because of the obvious answer, which Pete says. Part of that was respecting players' purchases. Duh. If you sold people a TMNT skin and then you don't let them use it, they're going to lose their fucking minds. As they should. They bought the skin. They should be allowed to use it. They bought it under the pretense they could use it in Warzone. So if you stop letting them use it in Warzone, they're going to freak the fuck out, as they should. So this is not an option. You can't limit it to Sim skins only once you've released the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Duh. And the IGN guy should have known that. So this is a crazy question to ask, yeah. They say a lot about it. I don't care. And then IGN, we're wrapping up here. That does lead me to one of the final questions I wanted to ask. Activision has increased communication around cheating in Warzone and made changes recently, like with crossplay. But are you seeing any improvements now with Verdansk coming back? Pete, to be honest with you, that's not our area of expertise, the whole cheating side. I would defer those to the Ricochet team and how this stuff's been working out. Anecdotally, the games have been feeling good. I don't feel like I'm getting cheated on. I think that's even what our streamers are saying, but again, that's not really a data point. And let me be ultra clear. Pete will never, ever see cheaters. It doesn't matter how bad cheaters get. You could tell, as we've gone over, just from his answers, he enjoys BR casual. He thinks about buying a second loadout going into late game because his gun that he had in his first one wasn't good enough. This is not a player who's in the SBMM bracket even remotely fucking close to where cheaters are. So him saying there aren't any cheaters is meaningless, obviously. So, but that's not to say cheaters are bad right now, because they're not. But yeah, but like Pete wouldn't have seen them regardless. So Etienne says, just something to add. It's just that it's always something on top of our mind. So we're just making sure that the right person speaks with the right team and make sure that we put a lot of effort. Because everything we saw from the community, it's important for us too. So making sure that, yeah, we will put all the energy needed to prevail and making sure the game is at the right condition that we want. Very French Canadian. Obviously that guy doesn't speak English, but that's fine. Or as his first language, whatever. But again, yeah, like I said at the start, cheaters have been more than acceptable levels. So, cool. It's just Pete, just don't say you haven't seen them. That's not relevant at all. Yeah, people are going to wall hack and aimbot and BR casual. Duh. So, anyway. And then IGN's last thing. Do you have any message to the community about your plans for Warzone in 25? What can players expect? Pete says, thanks for being with us in Warzone. Okay. We're players too. We started to make the game as good as possible. The launch of Verdansk, the simplification of our systems and our mechanics and just the flow is the beginning. We're going to cultivate the game and we're pretty excited for our roadmap moving forward. We've got some great surprises that I'm not going to spoil today in store.
Oh, wow.
But we hear the community and we want feedback. We listen. We take all opinions. We have our own and we like hearing what players think and feel. The passion is really important for us because that fuels us. We're excited to continue on with our journey here. And Etienne says, yeah, totally. The first thing is thank players for all the love and even the bad things. I think it's important to know both sides of the community. We're all passionate and we have a lot of great ideas that are coming down the path. Warzone has so much room to continue to grow and opportunity in front of us. So I just hope that with all the different players, we will get to those moments. And after that, they will stick as memories for them for quite a long time. Okay.
That's an article.
That's an article. So, yeah, I mean, you guys likely, if you're on Twitter, have already seen the highlights from this interview, but we thought we'd go over the whole thing. Not much else to go over today anyway. And And I mean, I think that's a fine interview. The biggest thing I learned, of course, is that Pete absolutely is not a normal Warzone player. Certainly not even remotely as hardcore as any of you guys are. Etienne may or may not be. I don't know. He didn't out himself in this interview, I'll say. But besides that, I mean, yeah, time to kill thing was obvious. And there's not a lot to be picky about because the actual update was pretty good. So like, you know, what can I say?
Yeah.
It was fine. So anyway, that's about it. There are a couple of other things about leaks and stuff. So Charles Intelligence has tweeted a couple things this week. First thing is, this year's COD title should be another Black Ops game, with Treyarch leading the development from what we've heard, other studios supporting. It's not clear as to when Activision will reveal the game. It could be either in June with the Xbox Game Showcase or later.
Yeah, we're already at that point again.
Starting to get the leaks.
Which is weird because since we have Verdansk, it feels like we're in a brand new game now, but I mean, we're halfway through this game's life cycle already. So yeah, surely within 60 days from now, we'll know something pretty concrete about the next game. Not sure if it'll be official or not, but we'll know some real solid leaks by then. So
yeah. And I have no idea if this is in line with like what the leaks have been up until now, because they start leaking this shit 8 years in advance, and I just can't remember or care.
Well, like, was
I don't know.
It was basically an improved version of Omni Movement with like a little bit of wall running and things like that. Those were the leaks we were hearing literally when BO6 launched, like weeks after the launch of BO6, maybe even before the launch of BO6, that's what the plan was. So it sounds like that's all still going to be true.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So cool. Whatever. Not much to say on that. And then another thing. These are new details on that game, COD 2025, so the one coming out in a couple months, from an alleged play tester. The campaign is set in 2035 with 4-player co-op. Dude.
Yeah.
If you give me early access, that will go bonkers. If you don't, I won't play it. But if you do, that would be fun as fuck.
That would be crazy, yeah.
Yeah. I remember this was what we really wanted for, what was it? MW 3. We got maybe MW 2. We got campaign early access, and we actually played the whole campaign, and it was quite good. And I remember there was one mission where you're like sniping, and like Price is your like spotter or whatever. And we were like, dude, this especially would be such a cool co-op campaign mission. Give us co-op. So if we get co-op, dude, that would be dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Genuinely. For a week. But again, if you don't give me early access, see ya. I'm playing co-op Call of Duty Warzone on day one, obviously.
That's what it comes down to, yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to let us play it early?
Exactly. Yeah. So, still cool, though. Still very cool. I mean, this is, decade 20s, 10s shit, whatever. But, I'd be excited to see it.
Yeah.
Zombies is going to have the original crew. I don't know what that means. Largest round-based map. Okay. That's kind of insane.
I thought they learned from this game. Yeah. I don't believe that part. I think they'll scrap that.
Yeah, because keep in mind, we have the Zombies map that I know the name of off the top of my head.
When was the last time you saw any gameplay of that map, by the way?
That you also know the name of and are an expert on?
Yeah. We're both experts on that map.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great question.
Terminus? What is Terminus?
Is it Terminus?
No, I don't know.
Terminus Island?
It is Terminus, yeah.
Is it?
Dead ass shit map, yeah. And that was their biggest map to date.
Okay, yeah.
So why are we doing it again? Yeah.
That map is all fucking huge. So if there's a bigger map than that, see ya. Yeah. The big problem with Terminus is that it's all water too.
That's the thing. They could probably make a big map that's just not laid out the way that map was.
Yeah.
That map kind of sounded cool in theory, like when we first started covering blog posts and things on it. But once you actually play it, you're like,
yeah.
It has a weird flow to it because it's huge, right? But when you're on the main island, there's like one way you can go. So you have to follow the same path down. There's no variety in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel, I don't know, for a map that big, you almost feel more cramped than a map like Liberty Falls, where you have so many, I don't know, just different directions, little pathways you can take. That map was just very, you go this way and that's it. I don't know. Something felt weird about it. Like you couldn't, you would think like, there's a little wall here, so let me mantle over it and just jump down into the water. You can't. It's just blocked off.
Right. Exactly. So whatever.
Yeah, they could actually probably do it well.
If it was, if it's larger than that is crazy, but yeah, maybe they could, but whatever. Multiplayer may feature a 32v32 mode. How much was Ground War?
32.
Was it?
16? 32? I think it was up to 32.
I think it was maybe 32? Yeah.
Or is it like 24?
Or
No, it was
20
32.
even. It was 32? Okay. Yeah.
It depends on the map. Like Anaya Palace, right? Wasn't that 16 versus 16 or something?
Something like that, yeah. Certainly some of them. And your favorite map, Promenade, that was also a smaller player
I miss
mode.
Anaya Palace, man.
That was such a... Dude, still my favorite multiplayer weekend was that one.
That
we were
was...
trying to get the nuke. That was so fun.
I mean, that map was just... Yeah, it was so hated, but that was I don't know. Oh, yeah. People hated Anaya Palace. That was kind of... Most people thought that was the worst Ground War map, which I always thought was crazy. People hated it.
It's because casual players like the worst possible things that suck, so they love their tanks. That's probably why.
It was so fun. Yeah, that's actually true. God, it was a great map.
Fantastic map, yeah. So that's cool, though. Multiplayer getting another Ground War would be awesome. Remakes of old multiplayer maps in a futuristic 2035 setting. Don't care. Fine. And then BO6 items will carry over. So the source for this, by the way, is some guy on Reddit who reportedly attended a playtesting session. And Charlie Intel says this info is not confirmed. But again, like we always say, if Charlie Intel is talking about it, it's likely he thinks or knows, based on other info he has, that the leak is likely true or has some legs. Because we've also seen Charlie Intel not report on shit, or if shit gets really popular, Charlie Intel will come out and be like, yo, this is not, I've heard nothing about this. This shit doesn't sound real. Like giraffes in Warzone or whatever it was. I think Charlie Intel was like, I haven't heard this anywhere. And I would know probably. So, So just the fact of him reporting on it leads me to believe this is likely all planned, at least at this time, or most of it, for COD 2025. Obviously, the devs themselves can change their mind or change their plans, and then the leak was true at the time, but won't be true come launch, but pretty interesting. And these all sound quite good, actually, or most of them, so that's cool. And then the very last thing here, breaking news, says Charles, intelligence, yes. Theodore Timmins, Timmy Timmins, complicated relationship guy of the pod, has announced he's leaving Raven Software and Activision. And he posts a classic Ted picture and then writes some words.
He's a goofball.
He's a silly guy. And yeah, I have a complicated relationship with Ted Timmins. On the one hand,
it's complicated, huh?
It's complicated, yeah. On the one hand, in Caldera, he was the head of the most communicative,
he was
just energized dev team that did multiple updates a week and talked about all of them and why ever for like a year. And Ted was in charge of that, based good shit. However,
he was active on Twitter back then. You know,
he was
even
also
if
active on Twitter.
Jake would scream at him, and he would even reply to Jake and be like, "Well, this and that." You know, the answers were usually not the best, but you know, I appreciate that a lot, no matter what, that he's responding to people.
Exactly. Which is especially an anomaly for any Call of Duty dev, as we've learned. But on the other hand, he's also the inventor of the Gulag token, the redeploy pack, the redeploy flare, the self-revive, the sequel, the 2 self-revives or 4 in your backpack at the same time. He wasn't that.
And then he's also the same guy that said, we need to get the game back to feeling like Battle Royale. Okay, yeah. Maybe you should have never left that feeling, you know?
Exactly, yeah. So it's complicated. He had a lot of poor ideas, but he at least explained why he did them, which, you know, we want people to be playing the game more because it's boring to be dead. Hey, I don't agree, but that makes sense. Like, I get it. I get what you're trying to do, and you are doing what you're trying to do. I just don't think you should be trying to do that. So anyway, Ted's fucking gone. He's leaving Raven and Activision. So what will this mean? Because we already had 2 separate Ted Timmins. We had the Caldera Ted Timmins, who was very active but chock full of bad ideas. And then we had, I think, the season 1 of 2 of this year of Warzone Ted Timmins, who did nothing but had great ideas. So we've already had Ted Timmins and then the Mr. Ted Timmins. So I don't, the poor Dr. Jekyll Hyde reference. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. So him leaving, I don't think is going to change much. At least that we're going to be able to tell, you know. So.
That's a good point, Payne. Yeah, Ted did also say that mouse and key has an advantage in close quarters combat. Yeah, that is true.
Oh, no. To be fair, I also used to say that 5 years ago, but then
You also don't lead the development on that game, though.
That's also a great point. So yeah. I also don't have literally all of the data to the contrary at my disposal.
You're not chocked full of data that shows the exact opposite, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, it's something for sure. We just don't really know what goes on internally, of course. Like, we don't know what happened this year as to why the game's been the way that it was. Did they step away? You know, I don't know exactly what happens, but at least during Caldera, that was a peak, and they always explained everything, like you said. Yeah, they would say, we're nerfing this by 1.7%, and here's the reason why. This is what we think. And that started during that era, so. And they still do some of that, but not to the extent they did back then. And I think he led all that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he led the charge, so yeah. So 07s to Ted Timmins.
That's an 07.
He was overall, at least during Caldera, he was a good studio head. Just some bad ideas, but anyway, he's gone now, so it's all moot point. I don't know. Prognosticating on like what that's going to mean or who is going to take over and how that'll be and how Raven's going to change and how the game is going to change. Who fucking knows? I don't know, bro. But,
yeah, was Pete I think Pete is Ted's boss. Pete Acroplis, whatever that guy's name is.
Actipus? Maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure if there's another guy that we know of that would do the job. One of the comments, by the way, on Twitter on that Charlie Intel tweet about this is some guy named Andy, and he says, "You ain't did enough. Hackers still own this game."
Oh, classic. No.
That's a funny tweet. You ain't did enough.
Yeah, I've pulled it up.
Funny.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty crazy stuff. So
shout out to Andy.
Shout out to Andy Nieves. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it. So kind of a light week, but that's to be expected. We did just get the new event, so we'll talk about that more on Saturday. Before we go, we do have some announcements. We got some new Platinum patrons, Oscar D and Tyler S. Welcome to the Patreon Kings. We very much appreciate it. Thank you. And we hope you enjoy the bonus content, including the whole back catalog. Also, by the way, for Patreon, some of our longer episodes publicly, we are going to start splitting them into 2 parts. So you're going to get part 2 much later than patrons will, because patrons, you still get the whole thing on the same day. So for example, episode 512 was like 3 hours. So I broke that bitch in 2. And then I put out part 1 on Monday, part 2 on Tuesday. We recorded Friday. And patrons got to listen to both parts without ads on Friday. So days and days earlier. So there's another new advantage of the Patreon. And Oscar and Tyler, thank you, boys. You can enjoy that. And we have new free trials for our Patreon right now at patreon.com/thedropshot. So I don't want to thank these people, but I want to acknowledge they've become free trial members. Rye Guy, CJ, and fake name, Jokum Nordicman.
Wow.
I am not thanking you, but you do exist and you are free trial members. So, hello, free trial members who've taken advantage of the free trial. Patreon.com/thedropshot. We did put out a new ep recently, yesterday, 2 days ago, on the Patreon that you could all listen to if you become a free trial member or just join. Better yet, taxes fucked me. Where we talk more about Warzone, kind of like a second impressions of season 3. As you could probably tell from this episode, it was overall quite positive because the update's pretty good. Quite good, actually. Again, obviously we have some gripes, but you know, it was a solid update.
Yeah.
It was a pretty long ep, I think, too. So you guys could go listen to that. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Get in there. And then last but certainly not least, we got a donation from Robert C.
Did we?
Yes. And there was no message attached. Based. That's fine. You can attach a message if you want, but you don't have to. For 23. Random number, United States dollars. I don't know why you chose that number specifically, but I'll take it. It's better than 20. Worse than 25, though, isn't it? So let's round that out. Let's round that up next time. Robbie, Bobby. But thank you very much, dude, for that donation. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thedropshot.com, by the way, you guys could donate too, and we'd fucking love it. And we would announce it like we just did. So, Robert,
you should.
Thank you again. And you could attach a message and we would be forced to read it unamended.
Yeah.
So, Robert, thank you very much, dude, for that. Thank you to our new patrons. You Exist free trial members, and Dusty, our newest YouTube member. Sup, y'all? What's up, big Dusty dog? You got that fryer revved up, buddy? Got that fryer revved the fuck up? I hope you do, man. And thank you, Dusty, for the membership. We appreciate it. All right, that is it. We will see you guys on Saturday. Talk more about the event. Talk about some other shit. Activision devs don't play their own game, and if they do, it's fucking BR casual, where they buy a separate loadout for the end game against bots, and I've got it.
They play BR casual, yeah.
Yeah.